Alright, so today on Movie Reviews You Didn't Ask For, we go over the science fiction thriller Upgrade, directed by Lee Winnell.
This is my horse brush. Yep.
So this movie is about a brutal mugging that leaves the lead Great Trace paralyzed in the hospital with a dead wife. Alright, she was killed in the accident, and a billionaire inventor soon offers Trace a cure, an artificial intelligence implant called the STEM that will enhance his body. Now that he's able to walk, Gray finds that he also has superhuman strength, agility, and other skills, and he uses those to seek revenge on the thugs who destroyed his life. Awesome. Let's dive into this. I really like this movie.
I thought it was pretty good too.
It was great. It did not feel slow at any part in the movie. It kept a steady pace. It introduced the characters, showed us a little bit of behind the scenes of how the relationship is, and didn't bring in too many side characters. It stuck with these main characters throughout the whole movie, and there were essentially no side quests to this film. What do you think? Yeah. Okay.
No, that's about right. No,
Yeah.
I actually no, just a little bit on that one. That it did drag a little bit at the beginning. I felt like the part where they're basically just going through the whole day and he's still fixing. I was taking a little bit too long. Yeah, we know he's fixing the car. I was no, I know, no. It wasn't long. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it wasn't long. I just wanted him to speed up fixing the car. It was like I was like, man, is he gonna be done with that car here soon? Because he was literally playing with it the whole time. I was like, get in that car and go.
Yeah.
And why did he fix the car for?
That's the one he was given to the dude. So
But we never saw him use it.
that's the connection between the billionaire and this character, was that that was the hook to get them to meet up, so he could use him essentially as a guinea pig for the STEM system.
Should we have done spoilers?
Yeah, it's gonna be in the beginning.
Okay, good. Okay,
Alright.
just making sure because
Yeah.
I didn't say
Okay,
earlier.
but also, yeah, we do see the car in the car chase.
his car.
Yeah, that's the
I'm
one he
talking
was
about-
fixing.
No, the one he was fixing was the Firebird.
Okay, that's the dude's car then.
No, he was driving.
That's the one
another
he drops it off at the dude's
Yeah,
house.
but I never saw him
Oh.
drive that. The guy who he gave it to.
Oh, I don't know.
I thought like it was like a special like gift or something. I think he was giving to him. Also,
He's
uh,
just-
there
that was the hook, man. That's how they met. That's how everything started. Was with the car. That was like the I don't know, the keystone to that relationship. So he was like, I need someone whose body isn't tainted with the sin of upgrades. And I was like, okay, what about this guy? That's what that was. So that's how they got.
Yeah, I know.
That's how this happened.
Again with that,
Alright.
you should have done like this.
Okay.
That's
But
how that happened.
I guess the thing I really liked about this movie were the action scenes. Everything was done non-shaky cammed.
Yeah. Oh, I
You were
love that
actually
about it.
able to see every action sequence. There was no zoom in, there was no quick cut. It was fluid movements, though sped up in some places, I guess to emphasize the speed and agility that the STEM system gave Gray, was still good. This was good. Kind of reminded me of older, I want to say action film. I think it's Chinese, but it has Donnie Yen. It's called Flashpoint, and it's all those fight scenes are kind of just like one single like single shot or like extended shot scenes of just straight action. And this kind of reminded me of that. It was really great. And there's one part, which is super spoiler, but guy literally hand cannons himself in the face.
That sounds very gross.
Yeah.
So he just hand cannons
Yeah.
himself in the face. Is that what he calls sexual?
Yeah. I think that's the only part of the movie I actually like audibly said something in the theater.
I think.
And it was loud as crap
Yeah,
too.
you were the
Yeah.
only person who made the noises. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, God damn! I was like, what? I was like, what happened? I missed it.
So yeah, that was brutal because they showed everything.
I
That's
know.
another part I like about that.
They showed everything. I mean, everything. I think my favorite part was when he was cutting the guy's face with the
Oh yeah,
kitchen knife and he just
another
slices
great
it all the way
fight
through.
scene. Yeah.
But there was also that I like the part in the kitchen before that where he's like hitting him with all the plates. It's like, what's going on?
Oh, yeah.
He's like hitting him with all the plates and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like,
So
oh,
it does,
there's some funny stuff.
it does have some funny moments in it.
But
some-
it's still
some
serious
one-liners.
though. Enough.
But yeah, it definitely stays serious throughout the whole movie. Like I said, there was no slow point for me because everything kind of added up at the same time. It was little things were revealed before you could figure it out, unless you were really, really, I don't want to say paying attention and not just enjoying the movie. You would have figured it out because I think you did. You said that you kind of figured it or guessed that's what would happen, right?
Yeah,
In the
it
ending.
was very cliche because everybody has this notion that AI is just going to take over the world. Yeah, there's a lot of AI out there, but they have they don't really care you're doing. They want to just do whatever they're doing.
You think so?
I think so. I don't see AI as a bad thing. I think as long as we fear it, it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
But if we don't ever fear something, it's not bad. It's just another predator out there who's not going after us.
Predator.
Yeah, predator.
We don't have any predators.
Yeah, we do.
Humans, what?
Humans are.
We're our own predators.
You think we're at the top like everybody else? 'Cause I do not believe that at all.
bare naked, we're not at the top, but I mean,
The only thing that makes us close, like higher than the bottom, is
the brain.
Yeah, it's the brain.
Is the noodle, which
but not everybody has a good noodle.
plays a big role, I think, in the themes of this movie, because it goes from having control to losing control to having partial control to losing all control. Because even though the character is paralyzed, he still has his mind and has that part of control of his body. While he has a stem system, he's in partial control because the system needs his authorization to do certain things. But once it's completely out of his control, i.e. when they do the hacking, when he gets the system hacked and releases all of the what is it called? Essentially gets the control lines cut.
He basically rips protocol and stuff like that out of him and just installs a rootkit, is what he said.
And it allows the system to run rampant and control his physical body until his mind mentally breaks down, and which eventually happens.
Which
Yeah,
it was kind of out of the blue though.
Because humans are weak and we can't control things. So
it was like
We're
he just
weak-minded.
snapped, and that was one of the problems I had with this. Like he just snapped, and I was like, no, he was stronger than that because he was able to withstand all of this stuff, and he still was going. I thought he was getting stronger.
I think it was
But
the system giving him what he wanted, because he wanted to kill himself, right?
Yeah.
To stop the system. So the system let it happen, kind of like when the kid is fighting to go to sleep, and you just let him tire himself out, and then eventually just falls asleep wherever he falls asleep. Like that's what's happening. Like it's inevitable. You're gonna fall asleep. I'm just gonna let you do this, but I'm gonna make sure you don't make a mess or hurt yourself doing it.
Is that what happened to you? 'Cause
What?
that don't happen to me.
I was like, what?
I have insomnia. Do you understand? I never
All
could fall
right.
asleep. I was always running rampant.
Were
no
you
matter what.
kid? I said kids.
No, I'm talking about when I was a kid. I
Oh.
still wouldn't fall asleep. Mom was like,
You're still kind of a kid, right?
You go I'm not. You know,
Okay,
I'm not
I
too
think-
much of a kid anymore.
Everyone's still a kid.
I love being a kid though. It's
Oh,
the best
yeah,
times.
Yeah. No bills, no worries, no stresses.
Yeah, school's only easy stuff.
Yeah,
But,
school's pretty lame.
there was a part in the movie I kind of was like, what? No, what would you do that for? And I can't remember. Hold on.
The Old Bones bar fight, like all that, the whole scene. Another great action scene. Pretty funny. Had its funny moment, and had its the moment of kind of like a moment of clarity where you knew the system was up to no good. Because it kind of gave you the warning signs, but that was the moment where control was lost. Because, like, let's say it was the interrogation scene. Yeah. Okay, what were we talking about?
We were talking about him being at the bar, and I was talking about what he did was when he was cutting his face up. What I stood up and said was, when he was still cutting his face, he's like, okay, that's enough. He's like, that's enough, and he's like, the body was still moving, and he didn't. He's like, now you have control. After he's like completely dead. That's when I knew he had lost all control. Well, most of
I think
control.
there was still partial control there.
And
70-30 split.
It was
Pretty bad.
Yeah, it was a pretty
It's
bad.
still pretty bad.
Yeah, pretty bad numbers.
Okay.
But that was the only part one of the only parts I had problems with. I can't remember the other ones, but.
Okay, so before we give our ratings for this movie, even though it's really good, music intense, action scenes good, story was pretty good, I don't know why they made the detective such a big part of it.
Oh.
If they were just gonna kill her off in the end, because she didn't really play a big part except to get in the way and provide literally a momentary distraction.
To me, I was like, what are you pushing her out to make her like she's gonna be the new heroine of this movie? Or
Yeah.
at first, because they kind of just pushed it out, and the mom she was in there for a little bit, and then she kind of just like was like it was done with her. I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah, that was it.
and I was like, okay, but the detective, she's like, she was following him. She could tell that was him in the wheelchair,
obviously.
and he just kind of she was like, oh, that's him definitely. She knew it was him, but then when she like said that she couldn't identify it, him, then she's like, that's not him. But she knew what he was wearing. She saw him the same day wearing the same shirt, the same clothing, and she literally did not progress the story very much. She just
at the end.
Yeah, just like at the end when she like followed him to the place, and he's like, oh well, you know.
I guess you could say that it was because of her. She caused his mental breakdown. Because if they would have just went all the way back and it would have just been him and the dude, it would have been inevitable that. Because I don't think he really cares about that kid. He probably would have killed him just out of rage, and nothing would have happened. But because she was there and he didn't want to kill her, because she's innocent. She doesn't have anything to do with anything in there. That's what
Yeah, I know exactly what
triggered the attempted suicide.
That's pretty much what
the mental release,
There's that part.
So I guess I answered my own question. Well, thanks, me. Good job, me. All right.
Yeah, just
had to think about
answer
it.
my own question.
Gotcha.
I got me.
Yeah, I got me. But yeah.
What was it?
What? The wampum?
No, that part in the movie where he where she's like, well, he's like an asshole to the detective for no reason. I mean,
From the very beginning.
Yeah, but it was like 3 months.
Yeah.
And had passed,
That's
and he's still
why,
angry about
His
that.
wife dead, dog. That's a dead
I know,
wife.
but
That's real.
He literally was like,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, your wife is dead, but
She's like,
she's trying. She's trying.
She's like, I need you to help me, or it's like, you can help me. He's like, how am I supposed to help you? I can't even walk. Like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But that was good acting too.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I did think he was a quadriplegic, so
he did pretty good on those.
I think
like,
everybody
stiff
did
body
good.
movements.
Yeah,
He's like
the very
and
robotic movements.
I love how the
that
camera
was good.
when he bounced up like that, the camera just kind of like
he does a
with him.
straight like 90-degree standing.
Yeah, it's like and he like attacks somebody.
That's what I'm saying, but that's why I'm glad that the director did not do the zoom ins.
Where he's like,
because if it would have zoomed in as that was happening, you wouldn't feel the full effect.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The
happening.
camera turning with him, it's
Yeah.
like it just made it
was a bunch of little camera movements. Yeah. But I do appreciate the lack of the shaky cam during the action scenes.
Yeah,
because it just seemed cut. It felt like you were there. You're just backing up, like, whoa, that's too close.
Oh, okay.
That's what was happening.
One of the things I have a question is, why did he tell him to take off his shoes in that house? He's like, take your shoes off. But he's like, you still left the footprints and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I said, why? And my mind's like, is it gonna pan out? Is it gonna be like, oh?
Maybe it's just because the one footprint like they missed before he walked in, or the one print that he left when he walked in.
I don't know.
Maybe that served its own purpose. The same thing with the cop, like, because that's what put the cop on his trail,
But that was the whole thing. Is he walked in, said, take your shoes off, but I was like, it's not gonna matter if you're gonna clean everything up.
Because man, don't you know?
You might as well just.
No, because you have to clap your hands. Stop your feet.
No, he might offend some people with that one.
All right.
All right. Let's
do it. Okay, so let's do it. We're gonna end this with our rating. I'm gonna let myself go first because I think I'm a little more generous on this. All right. I give this movie an 8. 8 out of 10. I did like it. It's a nice short movie, which is good. Didn't go too long. Good story. Good character development. Nice twist at the end. Action sequences are good. Cameras were good. Music was good. But I'm going to have to knock it on the ending. Because I do not like... It's up to you to decide what you want this movie to be endings. Give me an ending. Alright? Give me an ending. I like a good story with a nice ending. Even if it is that humanity is weak and we can't stop AI. Well, at least give me that ending. Alright? So what about you, Mr. Thief?
Oh, okay.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Alright.
Alright. So the ending is what really knocked it down. Just 1 point. Just that's it. 1 point. Everything else, good, perfect. The ending is more of a cliche ending. The AI is just going to take over. No one said it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, maybe in that time, but they had regular cars and then they had realistic cars, unrealistic
It
cars.
was kind of like a continuity thing.
Yeah,
you know?
it was more like it was open ended.
It's like we were in the transition period.
But it acted like we were just like, oh, like AI is already like in people now, and I was like, well, there's like crazy technology, and this guy's still working on old cars. And down the interstate that they're driving, there is like
Smart car. And then
one smart
old
car,
car.
but everything else is like regular cars. And I'm like, wow, well, not everything's futuristic. Just the smart cars, the cop cars are like regular cars, just look futuristic.
Yeah.
And then like the little genius guy kid
I think it
was
just,
like touching that cloud.
yeah,
with the rain
it definitely shows the economic divide. Because you still have places like, what was it, Crown Royal? What is
New
it, Crown
Crown
Town, New Crown?
or something like that.
That is literally like Flint, Michigan slum.
Yeah, like the
And
worst
then
place.
you have a utopian skyscraping city
Which
right
looked
next to
really
it.
awesome, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
Also, yeah, CGI was pretty great in this movie, so yeah, give it to that.
but I'm giving it a 7.5.
What do we think? It's either 7.
Seven.
Oh, it's 8.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
We're doing 7. I
Alright.
thought we can do halves, but we're doing 7.
No, man.
I'll give it a half because that ending really killed it.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, it wasn't bad. It was just,
Disappointing.
it's almost like they want to do a second movie,
It was disappointing.
or just they just want you just to kind of like, hey, just make a guess at what's going to happen, or we're going to make another movie if you really like it that much. But it seems like there was what 1, 2.
It was just
4,
the
5,
ending
6,
and
7,
the
8, 9,
god
10 people in
damn.
the theater who went and saw that movie.
Yeah, it was a quiet.
It's only been
showing,
like a
it
week,
was good.
so-
I mean,
But that's the whole reason I was like, oh well, they're probably not gonna make a second, but they made an open end for in case they want to make a
hate
second.
that. Give me my ending. Also, why nanobots?
Nanotechnology.
Oh,
Also, one of the problems I had is the villain, the main
These
villain,
are
not
our
the
main
kid.
villain,
I guess the guy who was
Yeah.
hired.
our antagonist.
Yeah, he was when he sneezed at the bar owner and like
Yeah.
that virus came out.
Nanobots, man. It was nanobots.
I know, but why did he just do that again? He wanted his face and just
Yeah.
just real quick, because all he had to do was do that.
Well, he tried. Remember? And they got headbutted.
Did he?
Yeah, in the fight scene in the house tournament in his apartment.
I missed it.
Yeah, he was like nanobots, help, and then he's like headbutting him.
Oh, that's
That's
what
what
he
that-
was.
that's
I
what
thought
that
he was
was.
like, help,
Yeah.
help. And I was like, what? Who? I thought he was freaking
Talking to
out.
his host, like, help.
So that's what it was. Okay. Because he said he had nanobots,
Yeah.
but then I was like, all right, like, you have
That's
it.
what that was. So
So was he controlled?
it kind of was like a back and forth control.
No, not the main character, the guy who had nanobots.
Oh,
Because when
I
he said
don't know.
nanobots help, that means he had.
No, he didn't have a stem though.
I know, but he also had. If he said that like that, that means
It's
he had.
super
He had
modification.
known that there was, it was like that.
Yeah. I don't know.
But yeah, that's
More questions.
That is my rating.
All right
7,
then. I guess
an
it's
8.
an 8 and a 7 combined. We make Captain Planet. All right. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks everyone watching this. Go make sure you do something and leave your suggestions and comments in the comment section down here. All right. There, right there. All right. Later.